Time to talk games. We do it with Gerard Campbell, stuff.co.nz, the Game Junkie NZ on Twitter as well. Good morning, Gerard.
Good morning. How are you, Glenn?
Very well, thank you very much. Today we're talking initially two games, Ghost Recon Future Soldier, but also Diablo 3, which is out today.
Yes, Diablo 3 is pretty much anticipated action role-playing game by many people. And for what I understand, that people that have, I think you can purchase this on Steam, which is the PC online system, that apparently the servers are starting to install the game for them now, because apparently the servers go live about 7 o'clock our time.
Okay. 7 p.m.
So, yeah, so there's lots, 7 p.m. our time, so there's lots of anticipation from... Yeah, lots of PC gamers who are really anticipating this third one in the series, which takes place in a world called Sanctuary, which is sort of a dark fantasy world.
Are you much of a fan of the series?
I can't say I've really been a great fan of the series.
Why is that?
It's not been one that I've got. Just not one that I've got into, really.
Yeah.
I'm sort of not the world's greatest sort of role-playing fan. I mean, I do enjoy them from time to time, but yeah, I'm not a die-hard.
They're big time sinks, aren't they? You need to invest.
They
a lot
are a
in
big
them.
time sink. Yeah. You know, a lot of people will be taking some time off to play these, to play this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones that I think people have been waiting many years to, for this next one in the, because people like, the fact that they can get immersive by sort of upgrading characters and, leveling up, and, they have a real control over their character and how it's shaped and how it's formed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there'll be lots of people taking tomorrow off probably, and I've heard of one or two people who plan on taking next week off to play through the whole thing.
Okay, well, one that you saw last week was Ghost Recon Future Soldier. The Ghost Recon series has been around for a wee while, isn't it?
Yeah, Ghost Recon, which is based on Tom Clancy stories. This Ghost Recon Future Soldier is the fourth one of the Ghost Recon series. And it's a series that's sort of set in the future, but it's sort of grounded on, I guess you could say, military technology that is in development now. Sort of development for the future.
Yeah, like those robots, those creepy looking robots that the Dharma robots.
Yeah,
horrible looking.
Yeah,
things.
and things like I think there's a technology called backscatter. That it's a technology that can X-ray. Huge trucks and can see through walls and those sorts of things. So, and so some of the mods you've got for your weapons in Ghost Recon Future Soldier is the ability that you can, see through walls and those sorts of things. But, the bit of the hands-on that I had last week, played a bit of the campaign. And it's very much although there is a campaign, a strong element is this cooperative play where you can play it with 3 other players, because a Ghost Squad is a squad of 4. And the campaign will take the places like Nigeria, Pakistan, Russia, and Norway. But one of the features that I thought was really good with the cooperative play is I played a part of the session where it was in Nigeria, and you've got to make your way through, I guess, the Nigerian sort of shanty towns and villages and that sort of thing. But and there are civilians there, but with the civilians are the bad guys, and something that you can do is something called tag and bag, which means that using your headset, so you're communicating with your other players, that if there's 4 of you or 3 of you, you can each tag. So if there are 4 bad chaps, each of you can tag one of those bad guys, and then at a command you can all take them down simultaneously. So it's a good way to sort of surprise the enemy and the foes, and the tech too is that they've got, all the ghosts have got something called active camo, which means when you're standing still, essentially you'll blend into the environment. I guess it's almost like that invisibility cloak on Harry Potter. That when he pops that on, he's invisible, and then when you start moving, they can identify you. But I think the Ghost Recon, especially this one, Future Soldier, is really going to bring in the team play. And then there was also another mode that we looked at. I can't quite remember what it was called, but it was almost very similar to Gears of War's Horde mode and that sort of thing, where you have to hold off increasingly tougher waves of enemies. So, you start out fairly simple, so you basically protect the base.
Yeah.
And then more bad guys come. So, there's a wave like that, which is pretty good. So, I mean, all in all, I think that this... I played the previous Ghost Recons, but this could actually be one that will really... work well for those players that want to sort of play more cooperatively, I think.
Okay.
And of course, it's various sort of multiplayer modes and those sort of bits and pieces. And also one feature too is that it features something called Gunsmith. It could be a bit of a novelty, but we had a bit of a play with this. Is that you can use Connect apparently to customize your weapons.
So
so you can scroll through. Yeah,
right.
You can scroll through weapons parts and do bits and pieces and I guess because, I've talked to one of the developers, and apparently one of the things that, Navy SEALs and elite special forces like to sort of customize weapons for, their own particular nuances and uses and that sort of thing. And so this gives you the ability to sort of customize your weapon how you want to see it. So, I mean, that'll give a bit of individuality. But Ghost Recon Future Soldier is out on Xbox 360, PlayStation 3. I don't think it's on PC, but it could well be. But it's out here on May 24, so we're looking next week.
Next week. Well, you can't get gaming news much fresher than that, Gerard.
Fresh.
Yes.
Super fresh.
More thoughts on those games up at stuff.co.nz in the technology section there, the Game Junkie NZ blogger. And also on Twitter as well, twitter.com/Game Junkie NZ. Thanks very much, Gerard.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Ruben